Yo, people, welcome back. Lateness is greatness. Welcome back to the building. You already know what time it is. We got a special guest, Culture Cam's in the building. Listen, you know him from 360TV. Talk to us, Culture.
Come on, man. Hey, I don't know if your fan base know me like that, man. I don't know, but it's Culture Cams. Obviously from Stoppage Time TV, 360TV. Yeah, man. I got my YouTube there as well. I'm sure you'll plug it later, but
it's in there.
Yeah, 100. Just here to free some stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah.
100%. Well, if they don't know you, they're gonna get to know you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the content at 360TV is sick. Obviously, you man always pushing the content on the Instagram, which we all love you for. And then the Stoppage Time TV, I've only just come across that in the last few months. So you man, the chemistry is serious. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember when people on Twitter asking you, "Oh, I had an Arsenal fan." I said, "No, don't ruin the chemistry."
That's what I'm saying. We ain't doing that, man. People this is what it was built off, man, and we're loyal to each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to bring someone in that weren't there from the start. You know what I mean? 100%, so yeah,
100%. I've seen you because I go back. Do you know what I mean? I love a backlog. So when an artist puts out new music and they blow, I always want to go back and see what they released in the early days because that's the backlog of the content that no one really pays attention to. I go through your thing. The channel started the grind. Obviously, as it goes on, it gets better production. And yeah, man, 100%. The chemistry on the Ottoman team's 100. Don't go adding no red line, orange line. Keep it green. People, big up the chat, man. You know what I mean? You guys are here. Unexpected times. I don't usually stream at this time, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go on Big Six afters. I said, let's see how you guys do on a Friday night. We're going to preview, obviously, the Chelsea and Man United game. Obviously, Culture supports Man United. And we know when we talk to Man United fans, we don't know what their stance is on Ole and the club and the way they're run because half of them are kind of, enjoying the fact that Ole's in charge and the other half is not. So just to keep it very basic from the beginning, bro, before we get into the finer details of the situation, what do you think of Ole and this season and just how have things been going supporting United lately?
You know what? Like you see with Ole, for me, I'm Ole. I don't really do the whole Ole out, Ole in thing. I don't do the whole I'm part of a clique. You know what I mean? I ain't part of no clique. I'm just kind of got my own opinion. Do you know what I mean? My own opinion. I ain't. If a manager does well, I'll give him his credit. If he does bad, I'll criticize him. Do you know what I mean? So, but for me, I don't think he's good enough going forward. To take us to where we want to be. You look at Liverpool, they got Klopp. You look at Chelsea. I'm not a big fan of Tuchel. I'll be real, but he's still a manager with a bit of a track record. Do you know what I mean? A bit of pedigree, and then you've got Pep. That's self-explanatory. Do you know what I mean? So I just think that we just need a manager to kind of be able to just weigh up with them kind of guys. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's doing some things right. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things that he's done right in terms of the way he's got rid of some players, the way he's kind of cleaned the squad. Do you know what I mean? He's done all right in that respect, and he will leave the team in a much more healthy way than any other manager has done. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I big him up in that respect, but you got to look at what we've done when we've had them big moments to really define ourselves and be like, you know what, we're here. FA Cup semi-final, lost to Chelsea humbly as well. Chelsea, I don't think it was even close. Semi-final against Sevilla, Man City. We've been to a few semi-finals, and in that very, very moment, we just never seem to get over the hurdle. And I think that comes from the manager, man. That comes from some of his decisions. So I just think, in the final hurdle, he's not good enough to get us there. Maybe he's good enough, but the final hurdle, I just don't think he's that guy. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like to build off that, I feel like I heard a stat where he lost more semi-finals than Ferguson. And I was like, that can't be right. That can't be right. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe the chat will know because they're really good with their stats. They always pull up. But I don't know if that's correct. But I heard something wild like that. And I was like, yo, that sounds a bit nuts. Or he's level with semi-final defeats or something. But you're right. Every time you seem to get to the pinnacle or the defining moments of a season, it just cuts off. It's like Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want to ever develop that culture and that mentality in your club where you continuously keep on faltering at the big moments. You spoke about Ole's plus. I don't rate Ole. I can't lie. Everybody knows this. You know what I mean? And really, when Lampard was in charge, I was starting to cop heat because everyone's like, how you get into Ole when your manager's leading you in this red tape? And I was like, listen, let me just hold tight until things get better. You know what I mean? But Ole, the one thing that he has done is he has created an environment that is healthy. I feel there's less. It seems to be like everybody is pulling in the right direction. And yes, a lot of your matches may be based on individual brilliance and moments from Fernandes and Pogba and all these guys. They seem to be playing for him. I don't know if you get the same feeling, but that's just how it looks from an outsider.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the players like him. There's no reason for me why the players wouldn't like him. He defends them in the public all the time. He says the right things. The Pogba situation when Mino came out and, said all this stuff, he handled that well. As a manager and as a person, there's no reason for you to kind of not like Ole. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't see why any of the players would not want to play for him. I 100% think the players want to play for him. But it's just about, I do think there's not enough tactical nous in him. It's all good saying that I want to play for him, and that's why we get through games. That's why we've got players like Rashford, Pogba, and all these guys can get us through games because they're good enough. But at the same time, they still need to be coached. From what I'm seeing from Rashford is, for example, what you're doing is good, but you can go to the next level. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can go to the next level. When I see Pogba, you can go to the next level. Bruno's the one player that I think is just like, you know what, I can do whatever.
I'll do this myself.
I mean, but I look at a lot of the players and it's all nice that they want to play for him, but every player in world football needs a coach that is going to drill into them. Every player. I don't care who you are. Messi needs it. Everyone needs it. So when I look at what's going on at United, it's nice, they all love Ole, but loving Ole is not going to get us it's not going to get us titles. You know what I mean? Loving is not going to get us titles. When you look at games, as you said, you don't want to develop a mentality like Spurs, for example. Look at the game against Sheffield United. It's not a cup game, but that's a game where it's like, go top of the league, continue putting pressure on Man City. Yeah, we know Man City have the game in hand. I think Man City had just gone top of the league at that point. Yeah. So it's kind of like, let's just respond, get back on top of there. Sheffield United, and you're going to lose at home. Like little things like that. Like that is bottling the title race. That's got nothing to do with, don't think you guys like people will say, what, did you think you're going to win the league? Okay, we didn't think we're going to win the league. But losing to Sheffield United, that's not where I thought the league will be.
Lost.
That's not where I thought it'll be dropped. Maybe against the Chelsea, like now. Maybe that's where it's going to be dropped. Not against the Leeds, and then not Leeds.
Sheffield United, bottom of the table, isn't it?
Then West Brom. Then was it West Brom as well? We dropped point.
Yeah,
bro. Those are the times where it's like I just don't think he's got that tactical. You know what I mean? Just that little edge.
Get
us over, man. Like, because I feel like it comes to the manager. The manager's meant to be the guy that like installs that confidence in them that we can go and beat these guys. And when you go and you're playing these teams, he's saying stuff like, Sheffield are a good team, or this is like, I don't know, man. I don't.
Manager of Manchester United kind of thing, isn't it? Hey, do you know what it is? I feel it's the saying is true. Love and guidance. You got the love, but you ain't got the guidance, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You're missing one half of it, and I feel like top clubs have kind of underplayed just how important the coaching and manager role is in football in recent years. You look at Arsenal, you look at United, Chelsea did it, Juventus, they thought Sarri was the worst thing on earth, and then they go on a point Pirlo, and suddenly a league that they dominate and they cruise through and think that, we don't even need to try. Suddenly they're not even in the race. Barcelona, there's been so many examples of clubs going with managers that are not quite ready yet and haven't quite done their due diligence in the field in terms of their homework and their experience, and then they've given them a top job based on stature, based on all of these things that don't really relate to tactics and know-how, and they've been caught slacking. Most teams have been caught out. So the recipe for disaster is there. You can see it. Henry, you can see it with Gary Neville. It's only really a couple guys who have managed to be outside of that normality where you just get found out every time. Steven Gerrard, I respect what he's done going to Rangers. He said to himself, I could wait around for the Liverpool job, or I could go out and get experience out of Rangers and actually learn my trade. And I think Brendan Rodgers is a great example. I know you talked him up big on a 360 post. I think he he's a manager that, you know, he got the Liverpool job maybe a bit soon. I remember when he was a coach at Chelsea. But, you know, he did a decent job, but you could tell he wasn't quite ready to just take them over that final line defensively to organise a team. They were a little bit suspect. Obviously, the players as well were a bit mad back then. But he's gone to Celtic, now Leicester, and you can see there's a good coach in there. And it's probably the same case for most of these young guys that were Premier League legends, but they just need to build up their craft. I want to ask you on real quick on Martial, because this is a guy that seems to divide everybody's opinion. I mean, he's the thing is, I always argue with Saeed on this. Yeah, I'm on Saeed's channel tomorrow, I think. So this is going to be fun again. But the thing is with Martial is that he had a great season last year. You know, he put away a lot of goals, didn't really take penalties. Seemed like he had his breakout season, you know, in terms of consistency, and, you know, you spent all this money on him, Ballon d'Or and clause in the contract and whatnot. And then this season, he's kind of gone downhill again. Like, how much patience do you have for a player like that in terms of, we're talking about standards of Manchester United getting back to where they should be? Obviously, the managers included, but also players that are a little bit inconsistent can be included in that as well, isn't it?
Do you know what? Listen, people think that I hate Martial, right? I don't even hate Martial at all. I don't hate him at all. Like, he's a good player. No one will hear me say that he's not a good player. All I've said is he's not for me, he's not a Manchester United number 9. And it's just as simple as that. Look, people talk about, you know, he scored this many goals last season and blah, blah, but the median through his career is roughly around what he's doing right now. So am I going to take anomalies, or am I going to take what his career has showed me through his whole time here? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And my thing is, some people will say, okay, he scored 23 goals in the system last year, but the system is now what's holding him back this year. At 25 years old, he's not 19 like Mason Greenwood. If he was Mason Greenwood, he's having a bad season, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But he's 19 years old. He burst onto the scene last year. Like, it's the way he burst on is unique. It was Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney stuff that they were talking about, all the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
With Martial, he's 26 or 25. I don't even know. This is your prime years.
Yeah.
You can't be giving Manchester United a 4-goal Premier League season as Manchester United's number 9. It's just simply unacceptable, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's just what it is for me. When I look at it, people say service, blah, 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 blah. I saw the ball get put into the box about 3-4 times yesterday, and he was beaten to the ball by the defender every single time.
Yeah.
The anticipation, it's just not there. For me, he's just not a number 9. That's all it is. He can be, he could be a good squad rotation number 9. But for me, I always thought his position is probably a left winger. I'm not going to lie. Last season, when he was scoring goals, I was tweeting, he's impressing me in this role. I'm not going to lie. Like, wow, he's impressed me here. But then now you've just reverted back to that. That inconsistency is why we can never really get too carried away with saying, yes, we know he's got talent, but we can never get too carried away with him, because this inconsistency is shown throughout his time at United. We blamed Jose. Yeah, we all blamed Jose. We threw everything at Jose. Now we're blaming Ole. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, listen, a next manager is going to come in and we're going to blame him. And by that time, Martial's going to be 27, turning 28.
Yeah.
How long? I mean, you've been here 6 seasons. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all it is for me. I'm not, listen, Ole doesn't put people necessarily, in my opinion, that he doesn't help them in the best way. I'll be honest. He doesn't help them in the best way. But 4 goals, listen, you've got to be some point where you say, listen, the player's just not doing good enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel no confidence with Man United's number 9 being Martial going forward. And I've said it many times. I grew up on Cole, York, Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Saha, Tevez, Berbatov. Listen, it's illustrious.
You've had some serious forwards. This is why I'm surprised that your fan base, I know they're very split on it, but I'm surprised they tolerate this, because you've had the pick. Like, we're talking, Man United have not just had strikers. Like, we've had strikers, but we've usually had 1 or 2 at a time that have been great, like Anelka, Drogba, you know, Costa. We've never had 4 strikers that were all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You man have had like trios and shit. You know what I mean? It's not been no joke.
What Man United are built off, right? Not built off, but what Ferguson always ensured that Man United had was an elite number 9, and an elite number 9, an elite centre back, and more time as an elite goalkeeper. When our sides are You know what I mean? The rest can patch itself up.
Yeah.
Carrick was a good player, but he wasn't an elite. Yeah, I mean, we have always had usually an elite wide man as well. We always, in the key areas, we have one. And I just think in that area of up front, that's such a pivotal point for Manchester United. Such a pivotal point. And I just don't think Martial is good enough for that.
Yeah.
Now, where I think is he a good player for Manchester United? Yes, he is. But, you know, people are saying sell him, da-da-da. I'm not involved with all that. If that's up to what Man United want to do, I don't really, it's not my business. But I think he's just more suited just to being a left winger, man. More suited just to being a left winger. But then again, that's Rashford's position. And Rashford's doing his thing. I'm looking at Rashford and he's got his trajectory right now. Rashford has a lot to improve on.
100%.
Rashford has gone from last season doing his thing, and everyone's saying he's a penalty merchant, to this season banging 18 goals, and trajectory is looking like, okay, yeah, I mean, Martial's is looking the way. It's as simple as that. But I don't think
I feel like Rashford delivers in the big moments a bit more as well, isn't it? Like those moments at the PSG, that penalty, that's pressure. Like that's when I've seen prime Lampard have that kind of pressure against Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those, that's a season defining moment, and he was able to put that in. And I just feel like I don't obviously watch Man United every single game. You know, I have to prioritize obviously Chelsea and whatnot. But when it comes to United, they're a team that most people will watch heavily because, you know, you're still a big club, regardless of what's happened since Ferguson. And I feel like just over time from watching Rashford and Martial in this head-to-head race, I mean, of course they can play together, but I feel like Rashford is usually having more key moments and you know, bigger moments in a Man United shirt where you're like, okay, cool, he's arrived. Then a Martial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what it is, look, Martial's talented. No one can deny his talent, but you've still got to have that extra bit about you. And people try and say, oh, is it just because he doesn't run around like a madman? No, it's not about that. It's still about what he's doing on the ball, the aggressiveness of when he's on the ball. I just think it's just very labored. It's just very labored, and it is what it is. I don't feel that hunger inside of him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet, again, there is part of the coaching which could help, which is why I'm saying, listen, I want a new manager at the end of the day. But you still have to, at some point, what Man United fans do a lot is we look at the manager, whatever, and we just completely blame everything on them. We take no responsibility for the players. We give no accountability, to the players.
Yeah.
And a lot of the players are not. It's the same thing that people can try and say I'm not consistent, right? People can try and say, I've got an agenda. They were saying I had an agenda against Paul Pogba earlier, about a couple of weeks ago, or like 4 months ago. Now I've got an agenda against Martial. It's not that. When I think a player is talented and can do more, and listen, this is what makes me laugh, right? This is what's really funny is that Pogba, for example, he wasn't having a great season at the start. And for me, how long he's been here, I was like, I don't think he's done enough, right? For him as a player, yeah?
Yeah.
People like, you've got an agenda, it's all Ollie. All of a sudden, after that Mino situation, where Mino said he wants to leave, I don't know what fired up Pogba's ass, but he just went crazy. He just started balling out.
Yeah.
And everyone started saying, see, look, Pogba, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, but isn't this the same guy that's playing in the same role he was doing under Ollie for the whole time? So is it just sometimes a mentality shift from the player? Pogba took it upon himself to ball like we know Pogba can ball. And no one had any complaints. No, I wasn't hearing no more he's playing too deep. I wasn't hearing no more he's having to defend too much when he was scoring all them winners and doing all his thing. I wasn't hearing that.
Yeah. It's true.
I mean,
when he scored that volley, that winner, no one's really saying that. I feel like
he switched up. He took responsibility and switched up. And I said, boom, I rate that. And it's the same thing with Martial. You can blame Ollie as much as you want, but at some point, the player is going to have to take accountability for his actions or for what he's doing on the pitch.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. And you asked them, why did he score 23 goals last season and why has he only got 4 this season? They won't be able to answer you, bro. They won't be able to answer. They'll just say Ollie. It doesn't make sense.
But this is the thing. The only issue there with that is that it's the same manager. And, you know, if Ollie's seen that Martial can pack goals in last season, what has he changed so drastically? And when I ask these questions, I'm not asking them because I'm disagreeing with the logic, but I need a definitive, like, detail and reason as to what's changed so significantly for Martial from last season to this season, because it's the same manager, so the manager should know how to get the best out of him. So why would he change that forcefully and then his stats deplete and not know how to get that back on side? Like, what is the striking difference with the way Man United played this season and last season? I didn't think Man United were any better to watch last season than they were this season. I think, you know, it's really, since Ole's come in, since that early period where you had this big bounce, new manager bounce. Since then, it's been kind of level. I don't really think it's gone too up and down. You know, there's been moments where, okay, we think Ole's going to get sacked, then bang, just pulls it out the drawer. Next thing you know, you go on a run. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the cycle continues. So it's a bit of a strange one for me. But I mean, just in terms of your confidence going into the game, obviously you guys played against Real Sociedad in midweek. You had the game wrapped up from the first leg. But I saw the starting lineup. I was like, why is Bruno playing? Why is, like, it felt a bit strong. For me personally, as a Chelsea fan, I was like, all right, cool. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought you was just going to drop everybody. I was like, cool, they're just going to put all the B team out. They got a game against us on Sunday. Why would they even waste their time? But you guys played a semi-strong team. I saw some seniors in there. I mean, how confident are you going into the game now against Chelsea at the Bridge?
Do you know what? You see with this game against Chelsea, it's 50-50 because you guys just come off a great result, by the way. Big up you guys to that result. That was a mad result. Yeah. You guys just come off of a great result, but it was probably a very mentally taxing result as well. So you guys can, like, the way you had to defend, the way you had to focus, and you nicked that win, got out of there. Do you know what I mean? Like a very good team should do. But I just didn't anticipate. We're probably going to play very similar to Atletico Madrid, but the only difference with us is that we're probably a bit more deadly. We are more deadly on the counter attack. You know what I mean? But I still think it's going to be a very, very boring game. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be very boring. Tuchel, he reminds me a lot like LVG at United. You know what I mean?
Bear man is saying this, you know.
Very much. Like that little patterns of play, but then the difference
pragmatism as well.
He had Martial being the difference maker for us up in that season. But you guys, I don't think, have that difference maker right now.
No, we don't. We're not clinical. I'll tell you that right now.
We're still getting through games. I think we're going to sit back and try and play on the counter attack because we ain't got Pogba, we ain't got Cavani, we ain't got McTom. We're missing a few players. So, yeah, man.
That gives me confidence because I feel like McTominay's he's the Dark Knight where he's not like, I feel like you could do better in that position, but at the same time, he does offer something where he doesn't seem to be a natural holder. He seems to be someone that wants to be box to box and wants to get forward. And I feel like Chelsea would have, as they should, completely focus on Bruno Fernandes. I've been talking, you know, all week about, well, not all week, but just since the Atletico game, we've been talking about Man United and how we deal with Bruno Fernandes because clearly he's the difference maker, regardless of whether he's playing well or not in a game. He always seems to get involved and manage to make the difference. I feel like Chelsea could have done like a Ander Herrera versus Hazard type thing with Kante on Bruno to just completely focus on him. But McTominay's that guy where if you don't look at him, like just at the corner of your eye and just keep an eye on him, he could sneak in and take a long shot or get
a little goal.
100. So with Fred and Matic, if that's who you play, and then obviously Bruno, I feel like that's a little bit safer for us in terms of management. I mean, Chelsea under Tuchel, we've been good. I mean, you know, only 2 goals conceded. One of them was an own goal, so that's Rudiger tax. We ain't even going to count that. I told the boys in the chat, big up you, man. We don't count that goal. You know what I'm saying? That's not Tuchel's fault.
Yeah.
And we're unbeaten. You know, we've obviously dropped points last weekend, so we'll be looking to bounce back. But I'm looking forward to, again, you spoke about you guys being on the break. That's just straight up. That's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Chelsea want to dominate possession. Man United want to hit us on the break. You've done it every single time, apart from that FA Cup game. You know, against Lampard and Ole was just
every time. You guys pulled us though in the FA Cup game. You guys realized set traps on Wan-Bissaka, and I don't think it was Fred. I think it was Wan-Bissaka. Set traps on him, and you guys killed us. That's all you did. You let us get the ball to him, set traps on him, got the ball, and was just pressing us, and that's how you won the game. So Lampard actually tactically adapted in that way. So I don't know if Tuchel is going to look back at the clips and think this is what I can do or whatever, but I see Tuchel as one of their managers, as I said, like LVG, who wouldn't change his style for nobody. He's going to kind of do what he needs to do. The possession, it's not a European away game. It's a Premier League game. He's going to still keep the possession and try and break us down. But the only thing is, which I think is that you guys, we're not great defending. We're the worst defensive team I've ever seen. But I think that you guys, I just don't really have faith. I don't really fear your firepower. You know what I mean? I don't fear your firepower in any way.
You honestly shouldn't. Like, we've got the names and the potential's there to do it, but at the same time, we're not clinical, and a lot of our forwards are not in form, and they're kind of like in and out. Obviously, Drew gets the bicycle kick, but it's not like as if he's in red hot form, permanent goals. He's never been like that as a player. He's not a goal scorer. He's more of his all-round game is just very, very technically sound. But the one thing I will say that I feel a bit more confident going into this game is that we've never been really be able to deal with your transitions. You guys on the break have always hit us from that very first game at Old Trafford where we lost 4-0 under Lampard, and you just hit us on the break every time. And we never really seemed to sort ourselves out from that moment on. With Tuchel, and this is something that he really explained very well in the interview with Rio Ferdinand for BT Sport. When he landed, like when he was on the plane for his first game against Wolves, immediately in his head, free at the back. Wolves are good in transition. They're going to break. We're going to go free at the back. We're going to go with the 2 double sixes in midfield, and we're going to make sure that we're not easy in transition. We're not going to get cut apart. I feel like that extra centre back helps us, and I think that's the one thing with Man United is that I feel like with that extra centre back in transition on the break, we might be able to cope a little bit longer. Who plays the personnel? For me, if I'm seeing Man United, then I don't know if Dan James is going to start or Rashford or Martial or Green. You know, one common denominator, all of them are quick. That means for me, even though Alonso's been decent recently and playing well, for me, Alonso can't play. I would prefer...
Is Chilwell much faster?
Chilwell's got pace, 100%. He's got stamina, pace. But the one thing with Chilwell is that he's never played left wing back before. So, I mean, the team has to be rotated anyway. We're going to do a combined 11 as well, because I know you guys love that stuff. But for me, the team does need to be a bit rotated because we've got Liverpool on Thursday and we need to keep it fresh. That's the key here. And Tuchel's always been known for rotating. But for me, I don't really want to see Dan James versus Alonso in transition. Do you know what I mean? I know we've got the 3 centre-backs, but I don't want people to get pulled apart and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. But I guess another thing I want to bring up is your defence, because obviously you just touched on it in terms of, and this is good. Chelsea fans lap this up. This is like opposition analysis. We're getting in here, understanding opposition. You guys' defence is a bit ropey. Maguire wearing the armband. I've never been too sure on all of that. Obviously, Luke Shaw has improved. I think since Telles has come in, he's kind of stepped up and whatnot. But is he still world class? Is he going to be that guy for? You know what I mean? That's the question marks. I mean, what do you make of your defence as well? Because it's a bit up and it's a bit mad. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even say up.
Bro, our defense is terrible. It's as simple as that. There's no 2 ways about it. Our defense is absolutely terrible, bro. I think we've got 2 centre halves who are not good enough. Yeah. We've got 2 centre halves who are not good enough. We've got a captain who is just not. He's not a captain. He's not a captain. It's as simple as that. Maguire is not a captain. Like, we have to be real. We forced it upon him, and I was very much one of the people that was defending him last season. I was very much like, listen, give him a go. Like, first season, 80 million, captain, Manchester United. It's a big difference. So I was kind of like, let me see what he's on next season. I'll give him, and then he's followed it up like this. Bro, it's just not good enough. Lindelof, Maguire, for me, are not good enough. But the thing about it is, it's not just a centre-back issue. It's not just a centre-back issue. It's a whole team issue. Man United are playing 2 players that are not necessarily defensive midfielders as DMs to cover. We got 2 men basically doing 50-50 to make 100 instead of just having one. Yeah, I'm trying to say it's
Like, instead of having an Ndidi at Leicester, you've got like
exactly. We've got 2 guys trying to fake the role. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can't do it by themselves, and it doesn't help at all. You've got De Gea, who's completely off form. Everything defensively as a team is totally wrong at the moment. And that's why that comes down to management. That comes down to coaching. Maguire is not the greatest centre-half in the world, but for me, he's not as bad as he's looking. He's not great, but he's not as bad as he's looking. He's looking way worse for me than he did at Leicester. Way worse. Hey, Matisse, you remember I said to you back in 1 second?
Yeah, no problem. I'll go through the chat, bro. 1 second. So people, he's just going to quickly for a second. He just has to quickly get something done. I'm going to go through the chat. It's been a great show so far. Obviously, opposition analysis on point. Like I said, it's good. It's because we're going to do a preview tomorrow, as per usual, with the preview gang. So you know the usual, Sam and Mayo as well. But it's good to get in our heads in terms of how Man United are as a team and where their state is at the moment. For me, from a Chelsea perspective, just before he comes back, This is a must-win, people. An absolute must-win. You know how it goes around here. W's only, right? We don't play any games on that respect. But because we dropped points against Southampton, you look at the table, we're not actually in the top 4 at the moment. I think we're 2 points behind West Ham and we're 6 points behind United, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that means that regardless of all of this great form, it just goes to show how far we have to come from where we were, how far we've fallen to how far we must now rise. And the thing is with Chelsea is that we can't afford to be slipping up because we've got Liverpool next and then Everton and then it just gets worse and worse. And true say Atletico Madrid the second leg, which is going to be a draining experience. We have to win. W settings only, people. We have to win this game. It is a must-win game. For me, in terms of just getting back into the top 4, hopefully, I think West Ham have got Man City this weekend. That's an opportunity. We're going to go through as well, obviously, our combined 11s and who we would start as well. But I can't make it any clearer, people, just how important it is that we win this game. I think our record against Man United over the years has been so poor. Apart from that FA Cup semi-final, we've been holding L's. Even in the I think the cup last year, I was at the game where Man United scored Rashford from a free kick, and it just like that. And I'm like,
crazy,
no.
isn't it?
And it's not like you man played well or anything. It's just like every single time we play against you lot, we just seem to falter. On a regular basis. But obviously we've got a new manager now. Also, just so you can finish your defensive point, and then I'll move on to something else. But just so you can go back to that as well.
Yeah. So what I was saying is just like defensively, I think it's a whole collection. Yeah, we haven't got the set. I don't think we got the great personnel. Luke Shaw's the only one where I look at it and I'm like, all right, cool, he's doing his thing. But even then, let's see like how long he's gonna do it. Let's see how long. It's because for me, it's only this season that I've really been impressed with him. Do you know what I mean? For a long, long time. So I'm not gonna turn around and be like, oh, this guy's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. And no, personnel wise, I don't think it's very great. But at the same time, as a system, defensively, a lot of the stuff ain't always. People try and always say, oh, it was just an individual mistake. Yeah, it's not always that. It's the way the team are coached, the way the team are patterned. It's just not good enough. How can you go from last season, we conceded like 31 goals or something in the whole season, and now we've conceded that basically after 20-something games? It's the thing about it. This is what I'm saying. Everything is too inconsistent with Ole. It's like, okay, now we're scoring more goals, but then now we're conceding. It's never that right mesh. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. It's never that right balance, and he's going to have to sort it out. Some people are going to say it's solely down to the personnel. Fair enough, if that's what they think. But I don't think it's that. I think it's a 50-50 issue.
Starts
there.
From the top, isn't it? And it kind of filters its way through.
Yeah, and I'm not really a big fan of everyone saying, oh, you need to get a fast centre-back next to Maguire. You paid 80 million for him. In situations like that, he's got to step up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's got to step up. But let's see, man. Let's see what happens. But defensively, if we keep a clean sheet against you guys. But the thing is, in these big games, we've kept clean sheets because all we do is defend for our lives.
You've got a good record. That's
our lives, but we ain't winning games. We ain't won against the top 6. We kept clean sheets.
I think last season you had a very good record. I haven't seen your record this season. But I feel like Ole, these big games do suit him because he can play counter and no one will really get onto him like it would if he was just
used to suit him. We're found out this season, bro. We've been found out. In the big games, we've been found out a little bit.
Man City, obviously, in the cup, that was a madness. But I feel like Man City are just clear. They're just gone clear at this point. Someone's asking me here about Pulisic left wing back. I mean, for me personally, I know what you're thinking in terms of going forward, but coming backwards, then for me, no. I mean, he played right wing back when he was younger under Tuchel as well, or right mid under Tuchel, and we've seen that with Hudson-Odoi. But then to switch him to left wing back, you got to remember defensively, you as a right footer on the left hand side, that is a very unheard of situation for a player, that for a defender, let alone a winger. So for you to be defending in those moments as a right footer and a winger, that's something that only Azpilicueta at Chelsea has been able to do. So then to ask Pulisic to do the same thing, again, we've just spoken about the threats from Man United's pace on the counter-attack with their wingers. For me personally, I wouldn't do it. And I've seen Chelsea over the last few weeks improve defensively under Tuchel. We've been fantastic. Rudiger, Christensen, players that I don't really rate very highly in terms of being at the top level consistently for a club that want to win titles in Champions Leagues. But even still, they've been very good, praised in isolation. But it doesn't mean now we're going to start taking risks like that and playing Mandem at left wing back that have no right to be there. So for me, that's a flat out no. What are your thoughts?
What is going on with all that? Like Pulisic is stalled. Werner, is not doing anything. I don't know how Havertz does Havertz get into Tuchel's system. I don't know. Like, what is going on with all that? Because last season, Chelsea fans were talking as if Pulisic has joined the little group of Salah, Sterling, Mane, and they were all dissing Rash. He's way better than Rashford. He's looking at them, man.
Yeah.
Bring it right back down. Yeah, I mean, what is going on with that?
Do you know what it is with Pulisic? Yeah, so much damn potential. Like but again, you spoke about Martial, and Tobes patted me up on this, and I had to sit there and think to myself, all right, cool. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. You got points. I don't agree with all of them, but you got points because he had that moment after lockdown last season. He was unbelievable, unplayable. You know, even at Anfield, we lost the game 5-3, but he was unplayable, ripping up people, going past them. He's got fantastic close control and dribbling. And then even then on top of that, his finishing, even with his left foot, was on point. That finish against Man City at home, whipped it round, put Mendy on his backside and whipped it round the goalkeeper. You know, he had great decision-making with that pass at Anfield, slotted it across the box for Abraham, tapping. Decision-making, dribbling, finishing, everything was on point. So that's why Chelsea fans were like, yo, okay. And that was his first season where, okay, cool. He had just come off a few injuries under Lampard. He didn't really get the time to get a consistent run of games. And then we finally saw him after a break of lockdown. We said, cool, he's here now. He's arrived. And man was just setting the place alight. And we was like, cool, this is Pulisic. This is the level. This season has kind of gone off the boil again. He's picked up a couple injuries again. But at the same time, the end product and especially the decision-making just has not been at the same level. So we got patience for him.
Sometimes, like I feel like post-lockdown was like a fake reality for loads. You know what I mean? Like
it's a new world, fam.
Yeah, bro. Post-lockdown was fake. I'm telling you, if a front three of Pulisic, Martial, and Greenwood post-lockdown, them man will go and win the Champions League, bro. That's how crazy they are. Do you know what I mean? That's how good they were. Yeah. But I feel like post-lockdown is a little bit of a fake reality, man. Like we saw a lot of guys go crazy, and we saw a lot of guys drop their form completely. And now some of them have picked it up, and some of them have gone really left. I don't really know how much I would look into a post-lockdown, like Pulisic running up post-lockdown and being like, yeah, he's the guy for the future. Or like the way I see him, he's just holding up. When I see him playing, I'm like, Cho would do much better than you right now. And he's kind of holding up with what you did last season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just how I see it.
Yeah, the thing is with Pulisic is that we got a lot of time for him because obviously this is his second season now. So true say, if he was in Martial territory, yo, I'll be the first one to say, listen, I ain't got time for this. Like, you know, life is too short. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. Life is too short. Like, let's get it moving on. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. He's been there like 6 years, but he's only been there 2. And I think Chelsea fans, because we've seen what he's capable of, and he's capable of having that Hazard type influence which he had in that spell. No, Cams, don't.
That's where you guys get me. That is where you guys get me mad.
See when I said that? I tried to cushion it. Immediately he's on.
You know, that is where, the people say I got a Pulisic in that. I don't have but that is where I was like, hold on, I'm gonna have to turn the heat up on him a little bit because when I know. In Hazard, I was like,
I remember the Twitter. No, I remember, fam. We had pictures alongside, and it was wild. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Chelsea FT at times, we are a bit mad. I'm not gonna lie, we need so I'm not gonna. But I have to say, we still believe in his potential. But at the same time, for me, it's not really been about ability. I have the faith that he has the potential to get to where he needs to be a top player. It's always been the injuries. If he keeps picking up, because he's been injured more days, he's missed more games than I think Eden Hazard missed in his whole time. So if he continues to keep picking up these injuries, 100% you're going to have to start looking at alternatives because availability is an ability. I keep saying it. And if you're not available for half the fixtures like he wasn't last season, then what good are you to someone for a full season? Cool, we need that to improve. But if it doesn't get any better, then you have to find a replacement because we need players that can... you need to deliver, but you also need to be available to deliver. And we talk about injuries and the amount of times a man is out. Also, it's about the time afterwards. How long does it take for you to recover from that injury once you're fully fit? That's not what you're not going to see them stats on transfer market. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see them stats on transfer market, but it takes time to get back from an injury. So you've missed these days, and then all the days just after that you are not at top form as well. We're losing that. This super chat from Ken, let me read it. Tuchel will have them up for this game. Team just played the best defense in Europe. Man U defense levels below. their must-win game, W settings only. Ken Berry speaking my language, W settings only. That is really the meat and potatoes of the situation, people. That is it. We have to win because we're 2 points behind West Ham. What do you make of Tuchel as a manager? Because I just want to get your thoughts on him, because obviously he's a big upgrade for us, but at the same time, how do you feel about him? Do you think he's...
You know what? I don't. He's not Chelsea heritage, bro. He's not Chelsea heritage, and I saw you guys
change, bro. You know, no one's like,
no. Go back to what you know, bro. Go back to what you know. When I saw who was available, I was like, bro, like Allegri's right there. Do you know what I mean? If I was you, lot, I'd go for Allegri. Maybe because the squad has been built a little bit for like Lampard built
we're trying
it.
to be progressive and youth.
Yeah,
you know what I
you're
mean?
trying to change it. But it's like, why are you trying to change what already a winning formula? What is it that you're trying to change? When I look at Chelsea, Allegri's, Simeone's, Jose's, Ancelotti, like those are the type of managers that I associate with Chelsea. Like, you know what I mean? When I saw Tuchel come in, I was just kind of like, yeah, Chelsea are really trying to move how they are as a team, but I don't see him winning Chelsea titles. I'm not gonna lie.
Chelsea have been on that for years though. Since Kante left and Sarri came in, Chelsea
have
been.
Sarri, you guys got rid of him at the first opportunity. Lampard got rid of him.
Yeah,
now Tuchel's in here on an 18-month contract, kind of to see like, let's see how he does. Yeah, I mean, let's see what he does. For me, I feel like your heritage is them stern managers who are rigid and will win games, bro. That's how I see it. A results business. That's how I see Chelsea, man. That's how I see Chelsea. But when you got him out,
we're trying to change, you know, we're trying to do something new, you know, try something new today, as Sainsbury's say, but you're trying to be like, nah. You're like, nah.
You've got your DNA, bro. Like some teams should just stick to their DNA. It's just like United appointing Jose. That's not United DNA, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like Arsenal turning around and appointing Allegri. I'll be confused. I'll be like, that's not Arsenal. That's not Arsenal. When I look at Chelsea, I'm like, you guys have had a winning formula. The way you guys have done it, that chop, change. And look, honestly, look at your history, bro. Ancelotti is probably the only one who was maybe a bit more offensive. You guys went crazy one season. Drogba scoring that.
It was mad.
But then Ancelotti, Kante, Jose, who else has been there that I might be missing? I think those are the guys that have all won the titles, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rigid will win you games. When I'm seeing Tuchel, you're going to start trying to pass it about and I don't know, man. No, bro, I don't know.
Culture don't want the Chelsea fans to be entertained. You want
manager bounce, but you got to remember, he's come in to a few teams. When he was at Dortmund, it ended badly. It ended badly. He won one cup, it ended badly. I'm sure he didn't even leave them in a great position.
I can't remember, but it did end badly. Yeah. I think that's potentially why he got the 18-month, because I know Chelsea's first choice was Poch and then Nagelsmann for the summer, but he didn't want to come mid-season. So Tuchel, he ticked a lot of boxes, but at the same time, he wasn't their first choice. And maybe they are a little bit wary of, you know, a bad end. So they're not going to give him a long-ass contract. And we're going to say, listen, much like, obviously, Willian is a different example completely because I didn't rate him, but he played his best for Chelsea when he was under pressure of trying to get a new contract. And maybe now, instead of doing all these big manager payouts, they're like, okay, cool. You get a small contract. If you do well, you keep it moving. But I feel like this comment here is potentially a little bit of a point here, is that it's not sustainable to keep changing managers over and over again, unless you're going to give them all short-term contracts and not be doing these big payouts.
You've done it for nearly 20 years.
I know, but Roman's tired, fam. Roman's exhausted. Man's getting old. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yo, do I really want to be sacking a man every year, then having to go to Marina and she does a big Microsoft PowerPoint presentation in the office and whatnot? It's all a bit long. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he's seen Pep, he's seen Klopp, he's seen Diego Simeone at Flacco. Different type of manager, but longevity. I feel like he wants... We're not asking for... I don't think Chelsea fans are asking for 7, 8, 10. We're not asking for Ferguson, Wenger. But if we can get even... I'm not going to lie. If we can get 4 years, we are... That is unheard of at Chelsea. Like, that's mad. Do you know what I mean? We'll take anything from it.
I hear that, but have you been entertained so far? I mean, you've got the new manager bounce, of course. You're always going to get the new manager bounce. That's why I'm wary of you lot this season. I wasn't really that wary last season, but this season, this game, it's a bit more like, all right, we'll see, because you got the new manager bounce. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But have you been entertained?
I have been entertained in the respect that now the tactics seem to be Like the thing is with Tuchel is that 100% on the pitch, it's not all come together yet. But I didn't expect that because he's a manager that needs time to work with his players. Like after the first month, I don't expect everything to be all rosy. Really, true say he's in a results business for this season. Short-term mindset of just get top 4 because true say if he doesn't, he's going to be under pressure already. So get top 4, get your transfer budget then for the summer, get your pre-season, get a normal season where the fixtures are not so piled up on top of each other, get the players in and the players out that you want, and then I'll expect better football. So the football's been good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like we have made progression tactically, and obviously I know everybody wants to see Arsenal. I can't even say it in their prime. They don't win nothing in that period. But your Wilsheres, your Ramsey, Cazolas, your Giroux, your flicks and tricks around the box, your team goals. Everybody wants to see that, but it's not always possible. Do you know what I mean? Especially with a team that have just come from a Lampard strategy, which was completely different to what Tuchel's trying to implement, where we really did funnel the ball out wide quite a lot. So it takes time to kick out old habits and old mechanisms and move forward. So I'm not surprised that we're not seeing the best things. To be honest, I just want to see results right now. Get us in the top 4.
Right, wing back.
Later.
You comfortable with that? You comfortable with? Is that going to be
100? Bro, fresh ideas because
Nah, man,
fresh ideas.
No,
bro, fresh ideas. No, not long term. Like I don't expect it to be long term, but it's more short term solution to lots of problems. Chelsea at the moment, they're defending very well. They're defending as a unit. The counter press is really good. Jorginho and Kova written off by a lot of the fan base and players that a lot of people are slandering and saying, listen, you can't even play at this level. I know maybe they're not top world class, in terms of especially Jorginho. Kova I think can be, but Jorginho world class definitely not. There's definitely limitations that you need a system to surround him and protect him. But we've seen those two players rise and our counter press is good and things like that. We're creating chances, but we're not taking them. So there's signs. Hudson-Odoi right wing back. True say it's not the dream.
Hey,
it's not the dream.
He can do whatever he wants to do over there, bro. You can. I'm not. Listen, Chelsea did not build Cho and say stuff like he's the best person to come out of academy since John Terry and stuff to put him right wing back. I'm sorry, bro. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Saka was doing his thing at left wing back. Yeah. We hear, but we know Saka's a bad man in his position. Yeah,
but this is long term. Long term, I don't expect to see him there. I think right now, again, it's just short-term solutions. I don't even think Tuchel will stick with this formation. We know he's played 4-3-3 at PSG. I think he's just gone with, okay, what can I implement the quickest? What do the players understand from Kante's at the time as well? What do they suit? If I haven't got a lot of defenders that are individually at an elite level like Thiago Silva, okay, then strength in numbers. Christensen, Rudiger, Zuma, Aspilicueta, are they world-class, centre-backs or defenders? Probably not. A little bit of decline, a little bit of inconsistency. Cool. I'm going to put them in a pack. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to create a unit. So 100%, you don't want to see Hudson-Odoi in 2 years' time or even next year, maybe you don't want to see him at right wing back. But right now, Lampard weren't even really playing him. So I can't really complain. Do you know what I'm saying? As soon as Hudson-Odoi is on the pitch, I'm good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the expectations have dropped a little bit from the moment you're not seeing a brother on the pitch then, and he's scoring against Rennes and then he's not coming off the bench or he's not even in the squad the next game. You tamper your expectations a bit. But for me, the way Tuchel speaks in his interviews as well, that is such a relief as a fan to be able to hear a manager speak in detail about his tactics, about his decisions. I didn't agree with him pulling Hudson-Odoi off against Southampton, but when he gives his reasoning and his methods behind it, cool. True say I might not agree with it, but at least I've got an explanation. Or sometimes he takes responsibility and says, "Oh, I could have done better."
He's very much like LVG, bro. That's much like that, bro. LVG would explain himself and he'll say everything. But it'll be interesting. But what do you think? Do you think his job is to come through, right, and get the best out of what you guys have got? Or do you think it's going to be another summer and you're going to spend a lot of money? Because you look at your players, Ziyech isn't performing.
Yeah.
Ziyech isn't performing. Pulisic isn't performing. Werner isn't performing. He's now dropped Chilwell. Yeah. So all 5 of your starting signing, and I think he's gonna look in the summer and see who he likes out of Kepa and Mendy. I think right now he's just going with.
I think that shouldn't even be a decision. Yeah. Yeah.
5 of your 6 signings, right? 5 of your 6 signings are not. They're not firing. So what do you think? Is he gonna have to get that? Is he in the summer? Is he gonna have to just start spending again and his ideas, or
the thing is with him is that he is a coach at heart as well. He does love to improve players. You know, he's worked with young players at Dortmund. He had a Aubameyang who maybe had a similar profile to Werner in the fact that he was a wide forward and maybe not to be involved in the build-up play too much, but to get him behind and score goals. So I think he can improve a Werner. I think he can improve a Kai. They're still very young. They're in their first seasons as well. Chilwell is another young player. Again, I think we overpaid for him. I don't think he's 50 million, value, but I think, there's fundamentals that you can work on there as well. Ziyech is an interesting one because he's more experienced. True say he's going to have to start delivering.
Is he on fraud watch or?
I'm not going to say fraud watch for anyone in their first season, but let me just say, it wasn't one of the guys that I wanted, True say, because I know he can do. For me, I was on the Sancho team. Like I was on everybody will know. Anybody who's been following me. I was all over Sancho, fam. All over you. You remember? I think if you was on Twitter, you remember Chelsea fans versus United for Sancho. It was nuts. Yeah. But for me, with Ziyech, is that everybody talks about his versatility, but then when he was under Lampard, we just saw the same party trick. And he had some good games. Burnley, he had some good games. Obviously, he had a couple of injuries as well. So I don't want to be unfair just because he wasn't a player that I initially really targeted and wanted and start giving him stick because he's in his first season, had a few injuries. So I always say first season, you get a chance. But I feel like he has this party trick, which is the diagonal ball. And it's great. It works. But there's more to him than that. And I feel like I want to see now if Tuchel can get more out of him and start getting him in a situation where he can play a different way, where he's not just right channel, boom, cross. Cool, you can cross, but don't make that all you do. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing. So I'm interested to see with all of these guys. I'm willing to give all these guys a chance, to be honest, because they're in their first season. So I'm interested to see how it goes. But like you said, they haven't, there's question marks to be had for all of them. And I think we've been linked with Erling Haaland. We've been linked with all these guys as well. So I think Roman will spend if we make Champions League. And I think he will back him. But it'll be interesting to see who he gets the best out of and who he doesn't want to keep and whatnot. 100%, it'll be interesting, yeah.
The best thing that Tuchel should do is just keep Kante out of the 11, mate.
You think so? You don't rate Kante at all, do you? I know it, yeah. Well, it's not that you don't rate him, but you just think he's declined a lot and he's getting way too much.
Bro, like if you're trying to play this Tuchel system, I don't see where Kante comes into it. He's not a possession football player. When I saw him at Southampton, people were showing me the stats of his tackles and stuff, and about 3 of them when I was watching the game were off his own touch, first of all. But on the ball, he was shocking, bro.
Media, as they say.
he was shocking. I just don't see how in this system how it's going to work. It didn't work for me. It wasn't great under Sarri. It wasn't great under Lampard. And now you've got another manager. And those are 3 managers that want to, have possession of the ball and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, to be honest with Kante, I just don't know anymore because one day he can have a great game. He had a few great games at the start of the season when he was playing in that lone DM role. True say I didn't like him in that role. I prefer him in the 6-6, which is what we play now, which is a 6-6. But I feel like, and I keep saying this, Kante is not a must start because I think Chelsea fans, sometimes they feel like Kante has to play. I don't think he has to play. And I don't think he has to play every game because then you burn him out and then you start getting poor performances. But I think if you pair him up with the right profile, like he had at Leicester with a Drinkwater, like he had at Chelsea with a Matic, then potentially you can see Kante at his best or not at his best again because true say you're never going to get what you got. Like that was his pinnacle. But you can still get a top player.
Yeah, no, look. I agree. You can.
He has no partner right now. I wouldn't partner with Kovac, Jorginho, none of these guys. They're not partners for him.
In terms of ball recovery, there's not many better than him. Let's be real. There's not many better than him. There's probably no one better than him.
Yeah.
But you just mentioned Matic and Leicester. I mean, and Drinkwater, right?
Yeah.
Matic is a player that was sitting deeper than Kante, so they can run around and do his thing. 100%. And so was Drinkwater. Remember, Drinkwater used to get the ball deeper and just ping it and do that long ball to Mahrez or Albrighton, and they'll go from there while Kante can go and run around. Yeah. You can't do that. He's not got a player that he's going to be able to do that with Chelsea.
Exactly.
And I've never in my life seen a team have to set up a whole system for a ball-winning midfielder. What is football coming to if that is the case? Yeah, I mean, ball-winning, it's not like he's Pirlo or something. A ball-winning midfielder, you're going to have to set a system up for a ball-winning midfielder. That doesn't make sense to me, bro. I think in the system that you got, the possession football that you've got, Jorginho and Kante is the best mix. I mean, sorry, not Kante, sorry, Jorginho and Kovacic.
They have the best chemistry. That's how I've always felt. They have an understanding between them. It might not be you know, they might not be impenetrable in terms of the way that they defend, and 100% they can be got at if isolated, but they have an understanding between them. And that's what, whenever Kante comes into that, I don't feel like he has an understanding with his partner that he had with Matic. So it's going to be interesting, because I'm open to seeing him be a key player in the team if he has the right partner next to him. But I'll never just put him in just because his name is Kante. I don't believe in anybody just going in because of their name. It has to make sense. And Truce, there's reports as well that are saying maybe Kante's unhappy because he's on the bench, he's not playing too much. So who knows what's going to happen with his future? We'll just have to wait and see. I think Tuchel rates him, so I have no idea how it's going to pan out. But I mean, just towards the end of the show, I want to do a little combined 11 review as well. I mean, in terms of, you said who's fit and who's not, so I guess we should go with who's available as part of our combined 11 for this game, and then we'll see who has maybe the stronger squad as well, because obviously you said Pogba's not available, McTominay, we've definitely got Thiago Silva missing, so the defense should be interesting enough. I mean, what formation would you want to go with as well?
You know, everything's usually just like, you know, let's just stick with 4-3-3. You guys have got this guy coming with all the 5 and all of that. Forget that. Let's just go with 4-3.
It's cool. We played 4-3-3 this season.
Yeah, with 4-3-3.
That's calm. Let's not overcomplicate it. In goal, I mean, you spoke about De Gea. I know Dean Henderson's an interesting one, because Dean Henderson had promised, but he's not playing. True say he probably should have gone out on loan to secure that England spot, because man's not trying to see Pickford again. But it is what it is. Brother loves the club. I have to go with Mendy, innit?
Mendy, listen, I think this is picking. I don't rate Mendy, by the way, but I think this is a battle of two. There's not great keepers, man. De Gea is
Mendy's doing all right for clean sheets. You know, Champions League, couple clean sheets as well, little records, looking at gloves and whatnot. I think he's done well for the price. But like, we didn't spend peas on him.
You know what? Yeah, because I'm literally sick of De Gea at the moment. I'm just gonna go. So, Dean Handel, please, for next season. But for now, we'll go Mendy still.
Calm. I'm happy to back that 1-0 in the bag, because I don't know how the rest of the team works. And then I guess we'll start with the fullbacks. We'll start with the centre backs. Obviously, Thiago Silva's missing for us, so he would have gone in. So it leaves it a bit wide open, because Truce, I mean, Christensen's on form, Rudiger's on form, but I'm not the man that does propaganda for them. You know, this is not the office where that carries on. It's going to take a while until I start running them agendas, them propaganda trains. But I've been impressed. But again, your defense is not really impressing me either. So, I mean, Lindelof looking wild. Maguire looking wild as well. But I think Eric Bailly, there's something there, but injury prone as well.
I'm slotting Eric Bailly in there.
Is he fit? Yeah, is he fit?
He's fit. Yeah, he's fit.
All right. I can handle that. Bailly. Yeah, and then alongside Bailly.
Where's Thiago Silva?
Thiago Silva's injured. That's the problem. Yeah. If he wasn't injured, he'd be straight in, but he's injured. So, it's just frozen a little bit. Yeah. So Thiago Silva's injured. So,
I think my finger.
Yeah, it did just a little bit, but it's back now. I think Thiago Silva's injured. So, do you know what? Rudiger is a player.
Magsy.
Huh?
I think you got to go Maguire, fam. He's better than Rudiger.
No. Because you can't play a high line.
What?
Top teams. You can't play a high
line.
Oh
my lord!
Yeah. No, because top teams want to be progressive. No, we can't play. I think I'm gonna go with Christensen, and I don't big up Christensen too much, but true say he's been very good this season. Like, do you know what it is though? It's a back four. Christensen in the back four doesn't really fill me with confidence.
Christensen would have been my last choice, bro.
No, Rudiger for me is last, because Rudiger's always got a moment in him. I just know he's clumsy. Like Christensen, he struggles in moments like where there's battles, but he's very composed on the ball, and he's assured. Do you know what I mean? I don't rate him highly. I think we can do better in terms of, yes, he's good on the ball. Yes, he's got composure. Yes, he can break lines with his passing in, good position and awareness. But I want also a defender that can be someone that wins his duels every time and is a leader as well. So I'm looking for everything, like a Thiago Silva.
What if you not got Zuma fit?
Zuma's fit, but he don't play games at the moment. I mean, doesn't Zuma and Bailly combination really work like that?
That's madness. Still, I can't listen. I know I'm in a Chelsea stream when everyone in the comments are saying Rudiger's a good player. That is crazy.
I personally can't agree with
Bias.
I don't like he's good now on form, but true say as well, this is we when Rudiger was off form, this whole fan base wanted him gone. And I'm not going to change my tune just because we've had 1 month of organisation from Tuchel and Rudiger's actually delivering now. Cool, Rudiger can deliver, but it's about consistency at the top level, and it's about doing it every time, not just when you feel like it. So for me, I'm not gonna entertain.
I'm seeing people say Aspie, but in a back four, I mean, that's not
in a
him.
back four. God no, jeez, he's too small. He's too small.
Listen, you know what? Because I've already put someone in, I'll give you free reign of whoever you want to put centre back. Because
I'll go off the true say. I think in a back four, it's really got to be Zuma, because I think we've seen Zuma, but Zuma and Bailly, is that not reckless?
But listen, it's simulation, isn't it? It's simulation. So
I'm gonna go Christensen. Screw it. I'm gonna go Christensen just because I think it complements them better. I think it's a better compliment. Yeah, I think compliment centre backs. You say though, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm going into the Premier League with that duo, I'm not best pleased with that duo going into the Premier League. But it is what it is. For a full season, absolutely not. It just goes to show the state of our situations. And then right back, left back. I mean, I'm left back.
Luke Shaw, mate, of course.
Yeah. I can't say nothing because I don't rate.
You gotta go.
Don't rate our left backs that much.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm actually a fan of Chilwell. I'm actually a fan of Ben Chilwell, but you know, he's not playing at the moment and stuff. Luke Shaw in the season of his life, so I think it's only right to go Luke Shaw.
That's fair. No, that's fair. 100%. And Alonso's not a left back, so that's easy. Right back, for me, Reece James. For me, I have to.
Yeah, Reece James. I'm not a big fan of Wan-Bissaka.
Calm. That's what I like to see. You see?
Yeah.
Cam's nose. He knows more, bro. He sounds. Because I thought because you know Wan-Bissaka, Trent, James, there's always this big thing. In the modern day, I know people are going to shout for Aspie. In the modern day, in the back four, I'll be looking for Reece just to get that, you know, going forward, a little bit of flair, a little bit of crossing. That's what I look for. But true say, Aspie's a great player. Then in the 3-man midfield, this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to put Kovacic just in there immediately, just off the bat. I think he's been very good since Tuchel's come in. He won player of the season last year, very consistent. I know people look for end product and whatnot, but he's not a goal-scoring midfielder. True say his assists and key passes could be better at times. I do want to see him giving that killer ball a bit more, but just being press resistant and just being the player that he is ability-wise and the way that he steps up in big games, and he is quite consistent as well, and he does have moments where you're like, whoa, I feel like I'll put him in for them reasons. What about?
So where are we putting over though? You're trying to put in the point? Are you trying to put him number 6?
Oh no, I can't. You know, I can't put him in the 6. I can't put him in the 6. You see, Mount's got to go in as well. Still,
I'm a fan of Mason Mount. I defend Mason Mount more than your own fan base. When everyone was calling Lampard's son, I was riding for him, boy. I was riding for Mason Mount. So,
it's not balanced though. If I go with Kova and he's not, it's a sticky one still.
Because we know the sure banker is Bruno. So the sure banker is Bruno. Now it's about, are we gonna go Mount or are we gonna go Cover as the other number 8?
All right, if it's the other, this is long for me.
Because I'm a massive fan of both of them.
I think same. If I could have both of them, I would, but it's not balanced. Who's the DM, by the way?
I don't know, bro.
I have to just check the DM, you know, because I don't. True say, we don't really have a natural DM. Like, I'm not trying to push anybody in that DM slot. Like, Jorginho is not really a traditional DM, a lone DM. Kante, I don't really like a DM. I've always said that I prefer him in a 6-6. I don't really like McTominay as a lone DM. I don't really like Fred at the top level as a lone DM. Matic is getting on. I think we should just shag it and just go Kova, Mount, and Bruno, you know.
Just attack, no defense. We might as well.
Yeah, let's just leave it, innit? Let's just leave it. Yeah. You know what we'll do? You know how we'll do it? Reece James is an inverted fullback. You can tuck in. Yeah, cool. Hello, that's calm tactics. And then the front three. I mean, I'll let you put your man first. Who are you going with?
I just saw someone say Matic world class, and that threw me off. But, yeah, I mean, I'll go Rashford, banker on the left. It's tough because I would have usually just been like, ZH banking off the right, easy.
No, I think Hudson-Odoi. I think Hudson-Odoi's got. He can cross. He can go 1v1. True say he needs to be more daring 1v1. 100%. He's got the speed. He's got the pass in terms of the final third. I think his passing actions in the box are ridiculous in terms of picking out someone. He's got finishing in him, but again, not on the Sancho level where it's consistent. So we need to work on that. But I just think as a player, I think there's so much potential there, and he's been on form. So I have to go with Hudson-Odoi at right wing for me personally.
Yeah. Okay. I can accept that because we ain't got a right winger. Greenwood's not a right winger. He's being left out to dry, hang out to dry at the moment. So I'll go. I don't think Cho's a right winger either, though. I definitely think he's better on the left. I think he's being shoehorned on the. I think on the right he just does one thing. You just go down the line. But on the left, he's got a bit of unpredictability about him. But I'll still go with him on the right. I feel like putting Mason Mount on the right, but and just changing out.
Can't do that. Can't do that. No more Mason Mount on the wing.
We'll go with him on the right, Cho, and then I'm going Giroud up top. Calm,
because them ones where I was like, I don't know, like, are we gonna go Cavani or something? But I just feel like Giroud,
not fit.
Yes, Cavani's out, so that keeps it simple. Then 100%. I think Giroud for this team as well, just for the pace. We talk about France and Mbappe and Griezmann. Obviously, Rashford and Cho are nowhere near these levels yet, but at least you have a focal point with Giroud. He can sucker the ball in, hold it up. He's got his touches, little flicks, and then Rashford and Hudson-Odoi can run off of him. Again, tactics, people. So I like that team. True say the midfield's a little bit.
Rashford, Cho, and Giroud. That's fine.
Yeah, true say the midfield's a bit dodgy, but we skirt around.
Christensen is dodgy. I've been nice in this stream because I came to the away. I'm basically in an away ground right now. I've been nice. With that Mendy decision, with that Christensen decision, I've been very nice to you. I'm telling you right now.
All we needed was a proper. If you had another leading centre back, you could have had it. But Maguire and Lindelof, I can't even say it. Like I can't allow it to run. They're defenders that are not only just poor on their own, sometimes they make the man next to him even worse. I remember Maguire dragging down Shaw. I see Lindelof karate kick opposition in box. I'm just like, nah, can't do it. So people, that's the huh?
Forget no defending, just total football, boy. Possession and vibe, boy. Possession.
100%. And Martial didn't get in the team, so obviously you man can blow up the comments if you must about that one still. Big up to the chat as well. Over 450 of you in here. Make sure you let me know your lineups in the comments below as well. Culture, tell us about just how things have been going in the last 5 minutes. You just wrap up, obviously, let them know where to find you and just let them know what you got coming up and going on if there's any more things coming out, bro.
Yeah, obviously, my YouTube should be on the link or something after.
Yeah, description. So yeah.
Make sure people go and follow that. I've been lazy, to be honest. I've been lazy lately, but I'm going to be back this weekend with a reaction with the game. So the Man United Chelsea game. Obviously, I do a show, Proofs and the Puds, on my YouTube channel. So make sure you hit up that, follow that, like, whatever. You know, I do that YouTube chat. You know what I mean? But also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I'm all on there, man. The thing is, everyone sees me, but everyone says I up the work rate. So that's what I'm gonna do, man.
You know what? Yeah, I remember there was a kick about you, Joel, Frim, Rants, and I was like, I could have been at that, but I'm obviously out of the country because Boris is on the madness. Yeah. So I just said,
"Are you a baller though?"
Huh? Am I? You know what?
I was the key man in that clips, boy.
Let me pay you, man. You man are good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys play regularly or what's going on, but I was watching the clips that you was all putting on your IGs, and I'm like, yo, you man are quite sturdy. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was just a mess about thing, but nah.
I can't go out like some guys, man. You know them people that be saying, "Have you ever kicked a ball in your life?" I'm like, I actually have, mate. I actually have.
No, I used to play Sunday League level, like Lewisham Youth, which is where like Joe Gomez and all them man would have started because I was in the same school as them, but I never got that academy call up. True say, I had an academy one time. Everybody has their trials of West Ham, you know what I mean? But I had mine. I had trials of West Ham, but I snapped my ankle and all this. Right? Yeah. But you know when England were playing Germany, and Lampard ball didn't cross the line. It was hot. It was a hot day. That's when my trials were. Can't lie, I didn't put in a good performance still. I heard England,
yeah?
I heard England were losing and I was like, yo,
I hear that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's where you can find me, man. Make sure you follow up, man, because I've got a lot of stuff coming. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming. So I suggest everyone should follow us still.
Highly suggest that. Listen, we don't just bring anyone. We bring the best of the best. You see what I'm saying? We've had now all the 360 TV guys, and I'm telling you, Stoppage Time TV boys, you guys are all brilliant. The show is fantastic. The chemistry, just speaking about off air, is A1. And make sure you go and subscribe to both the channels, 360 TV and Culture Cam's link in the description. Like I said, make sure you go and subscribe to those. Great content. And these guys are doing bits, do you know what I mean? Whether it's versus and all these things, you man are, as a group, as a collective, you can see the brotherhood and the support. So people get onto that, do you know what I mean? These are good guys talking football. And like I said, if you want some more Martial slander, they're saying in the chat.
The thing is, I haven't even said anything. People are just too.
You've been nice. You've been nice.
Bro, I've been nice, bro. I've come on my debut on this channel. I've come, just put a nice smile out there. Let everyone get warm to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next comeback.
No, do you say I want to try and get all three of you together at some point because I just want to be part. I've watched your shows, innit? I want to be part of that for a minute because every shows need chemistry. Shows need chemistry. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes a great show. And I've learned that as well when I've been putting together my weekly shows. So people, make sure you go check him out, subscribe to both the channels. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with the preview gang for the Man United game. We're going to be talking more from a Chelsea perspective and probably shitting ourselves as we do. And like I said, check out the links in the description. Big up to all you guys in the chat as well. And like I said, join me at Big 6 on 10 at 10 o'clock, 15 minutes. It's going to be a wild one. Obviously, I got to go and deal with Saeed now. It's going to be all over the place.
You're going to go and deal with all of these excuses. That's what you're going to go and deal with. Excuses is what you're going to deal with, man. Oh, goodness.
100%.
As well.
100%. People, in a bit, thank you so much, Culture, for coming through, bro. And bless up everybody. In a bit, people.